Pickling is the process of preserving food by anaerobic fermentation in brine or vinegar. The resulting food is called a pickle. This procedure gives the food a salty or sour taste. In South Asia, vinaigrette is used as the pickling medium. Another distinguishing characteristic is a pH less than 4.6, which is sufficient to kill most bacteria. Pickling can preserve perishable foods for months. Antimicrobial herbs and spices, such as mustard seed, garlic, cinnamon or cloves, are often added. If the food contains sufficient moisture, a pickling brine may be produced simply by adding dry salt. For example, German sauerkraut and Korean kimchi are produced by salting the vegetables to draw out excess water. Natural fermentation at room temperature, by lactic acid bacteria, produces the required acidity. Other pickles are made by placing vegetables in vinegar. Unlike the canning process, pickling does not require that the food be completely sterile before it is sealed. The acidity or salinity of the solution, the temperature of fermentation, and the exclusion of oxygen determine which microorganisms dominate, and determine the flavor of the end product. When both salt concentration and temperature are low, leuconostoc mesenteroids dominates, producing a mix of acids, alcohol, and aroma compounds. At higher temperatures Lactobacillus plantrum dominates, which produces primarily lactic acid. Many pickles start with leuconostoc, and change to lactobacillus with higher acidity. History: pickling began 4,000 years ago using cucumbers native to India. It is called asha in southern India. This was used as a way to preserve food for out-of-season use and for long journeys, especially by sea. Salt pork and salt beef were common staples for sailors before the days of steam engines. Although the process was invented to preserve foods, pickles are also made and eaten because people enjoy the resulting flavors. Pickling may also improve the nutritional value of food by introducing B vitamins produced by bacteria. Pickle etymology: the term pickle is derived from the Dutch word pickle, meaning brine. In the US and Canada, the word pickle alone almost always refers to a pickled cucumber, except when it is used figuratively. In the UK, pickle may also refer to ploughman's pickle, a kind of chutney. Popularity of pickles around the world: Asia. South Asia has a large variety of pickles, which are mainly made from varieties of mango, lime, tamarind and Indian gooseberry, chili. Vegetables such as brinjal, carrots, cauliflower, tomato, bitter gourd, green tamarind, ginger, garlic, onion, and citron are also occasionally used. These fruits and vegetables are generally mixed with ingredients like salt, spices, and vegetable oils and are set to mature in a moistureless medium. In Pakistan, pickles are known locally as achar and come in a variety of flavors. A popular item is the traditional mixed Hyderabadi pickle, a common delicacy prepared from an assortment of fruits and vegetables blended with selected spices. East Asia, Indonesian and Malaysian pickles, called achar, are typically made out of cucumber, carrot, bird's eye chilies, and shallots, these items being seasoned with vinegar, sugar and salt. Fruits, such as papaya and pineapple, are also sometimes pickled. In the Philippines, achara is primarily made out of green papaya, carrots, and shallots, with cloves of garlic and vinegar. In Vietnam, vegetable pickles are called dai de gria muai or dai de gria qua. In Sri Lanka, achara is traditionally prepared from carrots, onions, and ground dates that are mixed with mustard powder, ground pepper, crushed ginger, garlic, and vinegar, and left to sit in a clay pot. In Burma, tea leaves are pickled to produce lactic, which has strong social and cultural importance. China is home to a huge variety of pickled vegetables, including radish, beikai, zakai, chili pepper, and cucumber, among many others. Japanese tsukemono include takuan, yumboshi, gari and benishoga, turnip, cucumber, and Chinese cabbage. The Korean staple kimchi is usually made from pickled cabbage and radish, but is also made from green onions, garlic stems, chives and a host of other vegetables. Kimchi is popular throughout East Asia. Jangaji is another example of pickled vegetables. Middle East: in Arab countries, Pickles are commonly made from turnips, peppers, carrots, green olives, cucumbers, beetroot, cabbage, lemons, and cauliflower. Western Asia, in Iran, pickles are commonly made from turnips, peppers, carrots, green olives, cucumbers, cabbage, lemons, and cauliflower. Europe. Central and Eastern Europe. In Hungary the main meal usually goes with some kind of pickles, but they are commonly consumed at other times of the day too. Even for fast food. The most commonly consumed pickles are sauerkraut, the different kinds of pickled cucumbers and peppers, and xalama da copyright, but tomatoes, carrots, beetroot, baby corn, onions, garlic, certain squashes and melons, and a few fruits like plums and apples are used to make pickles too. Stuffed pickles are specialities usually made of peppers or melons pickled after being stuffed with a cabbage filling. Pickled plum stuffed with garlic is a unique Hungarian type of pickle, just like xalama da copyright and levan cucumber. Xalama da copyright, a type of mixed pickle made of cabbage, cucumber, paprika, onion, carrot, tomatoes and bay leaf mixed up with vinegar as the fermenting agent. Levan cucumber, not like other types of pickled cucumbers that are around all year long, is rather a seasonal pickle produced and sold on the summer only, since it is fermented with the cucumbers and slices of bread put in a glass of salt water and kept in direct sunlight for a few days. Its juice can be used to make a special type of spritzer instead of carbonated water. It is common for Hungarian households to produce their own pickles. Different regions or towns have their special recipes unique to them. Among them all, the Vexer copyright sea sauerkraut is the most famous. Repopulated by Bavarian settlers after the Ottoman rule, Vexer copyright S has built up centuries of tradition producing sauerkraut, so the city's name is associated with it. It is widely sold at the Great Market Hall of Budapest and considered a tourist attraction too, together with the market hall itself and other unique Hungarian products sold there, just like tokaji, winter salami, paprika, embroidery, etc. Romanian pickles are made out of beetroot, cucumbers, green tomatoes, carrots, cabbage, bell peppers, melons, mushrooms, turnips, celery and cauliflower. Meat, like pork, can also be preserved in salt and lard. Polish and Czech traditional pickles are cucumbers and cabbage, but other pickled fruits and vegetables, including plums, pumpkins and mushrooms, are also common. Russian pickled items include beets, mushrooms, tomatoes, cabbage, cucumbers, ramsons, garlic, eggplant, custard squash, and watermelon. In Ukraine, garden produce is commonly pickled using salt, dill, currant leaves and garlic, and is stored in a cool, dark place. Southern Europe, an Italian pickled vegetable dish is giardiniera, which includes onions, carrots, celery and cauliflower. Many places in southern Italy, particularly in Sicily, pickle eggplants and hot peppers. In Albania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Macedonia and Turkey, mixed pickles, known as tershi or tershi, form popular appetizers, which are typically eaten with rakia. Pickled green tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, bell peppers, peppers, eggplants, and sauerkraut are also popular. Turkish pickles, called çireğu, are made out of vegetables, roots, and fruit such as peppers, cucumber, Armenian cucumber, cabbage, tomato, eggplant, carrot, turnip, beetroot, green almond, baby watermelon, baby cantaloupe, garlic, cauliflower, bean and green plum. A mixture of spices flavor the pickles. In Greece, pickles, called I florini, I plus or minus, are made out of carrots, celery, eggplant stuffed with diced carrots, cauliflower, tomatoes, and peppers. Northern Europe, in Britain, pickled onions and pickled eggs are often sold in pubs and fish and chip shops. Pickled beetroot, walnuts, and gherkins, and condiments such as Branston pickle and pickle are typically eaten as an accompaniment to pork pies and cold meats, sandwiches or a ploughman's lunch. Other popular pickles in the UK are pickled mussels, cockles, red cabbage, mango chutney, sauerkraut, and olives. Roll mops are also quite widely available under a range of names from various producers both within and without the UK. Pickled herring, roll mops, and salmon are popular in Scandinavia. Pickled cucumbers and red garden beets are important as condiments for several traditional dishes. Pickled capers are also common in Scandinavian cuisine. United States and Canada. In the United States and Canada, pickled cucumbers, olives, and sauerkraut are most popular, although pickles popular in other nations are also available. Giardiniera, a mixture of pickled peppers, celery and olives, is a popular condiment in Chicago and other cities with large Italian-American populations, and is often consumed with Italian beef sandwiches. Pickled eggs are common in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Pickled herring is available in the Upper Midwest. Pennsylvania Dutch country has a strong tradition of pickled foods, including chow chow and red beet eggs. In the southern United States, pickled okra and watermelon rind are popular, as are deep-fried pickles and pickled pig's feet, chicken eggs, quail eggs and pickled sausage. In Mexico, chili peppers, particularly of the jalapeno plus or minus O and serrano varieties, pickled with onions, carrots and herbs form common condiments. Various pickled vegetables, fish, or eggs may make a side dish to a Canadian lunch or dinner. It has become quite trendy across Canada to pickle vegetables at home and bernard in mason jars. In the United States, National Pickle Day is a popular food holiday every year on November 14. Mexico, Central America, and South America, in the Mesoamerican region pickling is known as encurtido, or curtido for short. The pickles or curtidos as known in Latin America are served cold, as an appetizer, as a side dish or as a tapas dish in Spain. In several Central American countries it is prepared with cabbage, onions, carrots, lemon, vinegar, oregano, and salt. In Mexico, curtido consists of carrots, onions, and jalapeno plus or minus O peppers and used to accompany meals still common in taquerias and restaurants. In order to prepare a carrot curtido, simply add carrots to vinegar and other ingredients that are common to the regions such as chili, tomato and onions. Varies depending on the food, in the case of sour. Another example of a type of pickling which involves the pickling of meats or seafood is the escabeche, or ceviche is popular in Peru, Ecuador and throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. These dishes include the pickling of pig's feet, pig's ears, and gizzards prepared as an escabeche with spices and seasonings to flavor it. The ceviches consists of shrimp, octopus and various fishes seasoned and served cold. The pickling process. In chemical pickling, the jar and lid are first boiled in order to sterilize them. The fruits or vegetables to be pickled are then added to the jar along with brine, vinegar, or both, as well as spices, and are then allowed to ferment until the desired taste is obtained. The food can be pre-soaked in brine before transferring to vinegar. This reduces the water content of the food which would otherwise dilute the vinegar. This method is particularly useful for fruit and vegetables with a high natural water content. In commercial pickling, a preservative like sodium benzoate or EDTA may also be added to enhance shelf life. In fermentation pickling, the food itself produces the preservation agent, typically by a process involving lactobacillus bacteria that produce lactic acid as the preservative agent. Alum was once used as a preservative in pickling and is still approved as a food additive by the USA Food and Drug Administration, but alum in repeated small doses may cause brain damage. Health benefits. Traditionally manufactured pickles are a source of healthy probiotic microbes, which occur by natural fermentation in brine, but pickles produced using vinegar are not probiotic. Beneficial bacteria grow in salt water and sour mixture and make traditional pickle probiotic. Possible health hazards of pickled vegetables. The World Health Organization has listed pickled vegetables as a possible carcinogen, and the British Journal of Cancer released an online 2009 meta-analysis of research on pickles as increasing the risks of esophageal cancer. The report cites a potential twofold increased risk of esophageal cancer associated with Asian pickled vegetable consumption. Results from the research are described as having high heterogeneity, and the study said that further well-designed prospective studies were warranted. Some common fungi can facilitate the formation of N-nitrous-O compounds, which are strong esophageal carcinogens in several animal models. Reusin red methyl ester, a non-alkylating nitroso compound with tumor-promoting effect in vitro, was identified in pickles from Lynxian in much higher concentrations than in samples from low-incidence areas. Fumines in mycotoxins have been shown to cause liver and kidney tumors in rodents. Further information. Other home food preservation methods. See also. List of pickled foods, references. External links, fermented fruits and vegetables. A global perspective. Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. National Center for Home Food Preservation, How Do I Pickle, Pickles, 1, British Journal of Cancer Review of research involving cancer risk from pickled vegetable consumption.